3, 2.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Legacy Loading. This is episode 37, right?
Yeah, 37.
I just asked you like 5 times. I'm just so unsure, but yes, this is 37. We have a very special guest here today, Mr. Marshall Cruz.
Hello.
All the way from, I don't know, you've been everywhere, I feel like, in the last month.
I'm a domestic nomad.
Do you say you live in Houston right now?
Yeah, I live in Houston, but
Okay.
I spend probably 40% of my time here.
Yeah, just from based on your stories, you're on roofs in like LA, then you're Vegas, then you're I don't even know where.
You consider like Houston like your home base though, too.
Houston is home base for now, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably shortly to change in the near future, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm just gonna try a few things out, and we'll see.
That's the way to live. And Elliot's here, the guy behind the camera.
Yeah, we couldn't find anyone else to have on as a co-host, so we just had to have me.
Yeah, Kenny couldn't make it, so fucking Elliot had him fill in.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just kidding. Elliot's always
Yeah, I was honestly a little disappointed. I was looking forward to having sophisticated.
Elliot's always
talks
welcome in front of the camera too. So, but so people who don't know who you are, tell them a little about yourself, where you're from, what do you do?
So let me clear my throat.
Oh shit!
I had a lot of allergies, but anyway, so my name is Marshall Cruz. I am 20 years old. Let me think.
You're what? You're gonna say a rapper?
Like a title.
What?
Should I? Oh no. So
what do you tell yourself as?
I would call myself. I'm a professional dumbass. To be honest.
So like Nell, right?
No. I'm a professional dumbass. I'm a discreet intellectual. Speak 2 languages, so I'm like bilingual.
Which languages?
English and sarcasm, and I'm working on a third. I'm working on Toxic Lover Boy, but that one's still a work in progress.
Ryse, bro.
No, yeah, but yeah. Other than that, I don't even know. I guess I'm a creator. I would call myself a creator, not necessarily strictly a fitness creator, but I do fitness content. I also do just like lifestyle, normal content. I honestly just act retarded in front of a camera and people think it's funny, so I just keep doing that. And
all right, well, if it's working,
Yeah.
What was your come up like? I'm trying to, because you're only 20, and I feel like you've been necessarily like in the spotlight for a while.
My come up, that's it.
School? You go to college?
So I'm technically a senior in college at the moment, but I dropped out about a year ago. I went to college.
Dropouts.
What college?
Yeah, no, I went to college whenever I was 16. So where I'm from, whenever you turn 16,
Where's that?
I'm from Florida, technically. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so where I'm from, whenever you turn 16, if you score high enough on a test, you can just go straight to college instead of basically skip the last year, your junior and senior years of high school.
You're like too smart for high school.
Well, yeah, sort of, but it's almost like they call it dual enrollment, but like I was homeschooled all my life. So I went from being homeschooled to being a full-time like college student whenever I was 16. So I went to college, and obviously I did that for 2 years until I graduated, turned 18. And I stayed in college, obviously, because I was, taught growing up that I needed a bachelor's degree or whatever to make any money. So I stayed in college for about another year and a half. And I'm probably I would say I'm like 1 semester away from a bachelor's degree, but I just decided to drop out because it was a waste of my time and my money and my efforts. And
one semester though? I feel like when you're that close, it's just like, I just finished.
See, but the thing is, like, I can always go back to college.
Yeah, that's true. Can't get the time back right now.
Yeah, and for me, it's like I'm one of those people. Like if I'm into something, if it's like something that I'm into right now, like I'm gonna give it my all, right? And I couldn't give school my all, but also give content creation and what I truly love doing.
At first, would you say that it was like mainly focused on fitness? That was your first got started with content creation?
It all started with fitness.
Yeah.
I loved going to the gym because I'm sure similarly to pretty much everybody else who does fitness, I just wanted to be bigger. I wanted to, look better, get more bitches and shit. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna post I was just like, I'm gonna post this stuff, and eventually I started enjoying it. Then COVID hit. I got bored, and so I just started, playing around, I guess, with videos on TikTok and shit, and you know, getting into like, because I was always into like gym fashion, or whatever you want to call that.
Was TikTok your first like platform that started to pop off for you?
Yeah, for sure. Just
like
TikTok,
thirst traps and all that type of shit.
No, I actually I've never made an actual thirst trap. I tried one, and it was honestly the funniest shit.
Just like red lights and
I ever made. No, I did the videos. You guys remember, Ellie? Do you remember whenever I would post videos and I would literally just like show what I'm about to wear, and then I would like show a picture of myself wearing it, and then like 2 or 3 clips of me working out in it. It was
that was like, I think some of the first videos I saw of you on TikTok.
That was like how I started like blowing up or whatever, and then I
just like rinse and repeat of that, like new outfit and new workout, like just keep doing it over and over again.
And it worked, but obviously like, you know, eventually you get bored of shit, and I got bored of that really quick.
Yep, exactly.
I definitely think you came like on my radar around like COVID time for sure.
Yeah,
that's definitely. Would you say that's when things started to pop off for you?
Yeah, but I would say honestly, I guess I've had my pop-offs, like obviously you know this just as well as I do, but it kind of comes in like waves, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know, you may have like an initial like pop-off, blow-up or whatever. Yeah. And then shit can just be stagnant for a while, or you could just lose interest, or, you know, not be able to make as much content consistently. So for me, that's kind of how it happened. Like for me, it would come in like short waves, like, you know, the COVID wave or whatever, where I was doing like gym fits and shit. Yeah. And then, you know, I'd say like right before I moved out here, and then like right as I moved out here was another wave, and that was kind of like what actually made me, and what made me like who I am today, and like gave me the relevance, or you know, I guess.
Would you say it changed your image when like the LA Marshall and the Houston Marshall, 2 different people?
Honestly, no. I will say that I've grown up a lot in the past year. So obviously, whenever I first started with stuff, I was going back and forth from LA because I was working with Raw Gear, and they were flying me out for, you know, shoots and you know, just content and stuff like that. So I spent a lot of time in LA. And honestly, I grew to hate LA. Like I absolutely hated LA. I made several videos about it. And it was one of those things where I hated LA because I was around the wrong people, and that really explains kind of like why I hated it. But it was like something that I genuinely like I held so much resentment for that place. Like every time I would go, like get on that airplane to go to LA, like I would literally like, I would be angry because I knew that
someone's like, you know, you're about to go walk into some like fake handshakes and just fake smiles, fake laughs, and just not, because I know like Brandon's out there, right? Sushi's out there full time now, and I know he said like he loves it. And he says because it's the people he's around every day. When he wakes up and he goes to work, he's around people that motivate him and inspire him, and people that he considers like family, like all the young LA people. So it really does depend on, I think, who you're with, who you're surrounded with. Yeah, if you're out there just on your own and you're like meeting people every day that they're not really your friends, you know, and then it feels fake, it feels forced. I think that's what you experience, right? Yeah.
So whenever I would go out there, basically I would stay at Brad's. I'll go ahead and say, like,
you're still with Raw Gear.
Yeah, I'm still with Raw Gear. And that's kind of been like, I don't know, it's kind of been a long thing. But to just cover real briefly, because I know a lot of people have asked me like a million times, like, why are you still with Raw Gear? Like, why aren't you in Young LA? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it fits your vibe more. Like, you'd make more money. So to kind of just briefly explain why I'm with Raw Gear, why I'm still with Raw Gear, why I'm not with Young LA. I actually don't think I've ever talked about this. I might have on TikTok or something. But basically, in the beginning, whenever I first started all this stuff, Brad reached out to me. Raw Gear and stuff. I really had no followers. No.
It was just a DM. Like,
yeah, it was just a DM, right? And they, you know, they had 2 athletes. They had Joe Andrews and then like some other random dude, like literally nobody. And so I was like, okay, well, shit. I mean, whatever. Screw it. I'll do it. So I started it. And in the beginning, whenever I started like, you know, kind of doing well with content and stuff, Brad would let me like stay in his house, you know, whenever I would go, like for free. Like, you know, I would, you know, eat the food in his house for free. I would, you know, use whatever rooms I needed. And I remember there was times where I would stay out there in his house for like a month at a time sometimes, you know, and he wouldn't ask for shit. You know what I mean? And then again, you know, obviously I was making money for the company or whatever, and that was, you know, beneficial to him. But regardless of that, there were other gestures that I appreciate from Brad, and I know a lot of people shit on Brad, and a lot of people are, not fans of Brad, and that's totally cool. But I try to formulate my own opinions about people based on my own personal experiences.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have your own personal experience with him, and it's been nothing but loyalty and like taking care of you. And so obviously, even I can understand that. Like, obviously, you're going to respect Brad because he's done so much for you.
It's safe to say, too, like, he kind of took you under his wing. Like, he gave you an opportunity and, like, almost took you on as, like, not like a mentor, like he's your mentor, like, towards him, but, like, almost like a, like, father figure where he took you into his home, he helped feed you, he gave you this chance with this company, Raw Gear, and now, you value that.
Yeah,
the value he gave you. Yeah.
And one specific occasion, I'll just go ahead and like throw this out there. I remember I was sitting in on a podcast that he was doing with a co-host that he had at the time, and the co-host left after like 40 minutes or something. She like was feeling bad or whatever, and he was just like, "Marsh, come here, like hop on the podcast," and I was just like, who, like me? Like what? Like, bro, who am I? Like, obviously, like I basically had no clout. He was not going to gain anything necessarily by having me on the podcast that he knew of anyways. Yeah. So, and that podcast ended up kind of blowing up, and the clips
I saw
me.
That,
yeah. And that ended up, obviously that helped me a lot. But that's just like an example of like, I don't know, Brad kind of like taking a chance on me and like, me for like, obviously Raw Gear, we all know, we're not going to pretend like, Raw Gear has not been through some rough times and struggles in the past several months. And a lot of people like think I'm like a secret young LA athlete. Like I've gotten a lot of comments and DMs about that, and stuff, just because I don't really mesh with the other Raw Gear athletes very much at all. I don't ever make content with them. I don't ever do shit with them.
I just feel like you just have a tie of like loyalty from being there from the beginning, and what Brad taking you under his wing and like letting you stay at his house. So
is like you, like
it's different
you can boil
for you.
It down to like loyalty, right?
Yeah. So I mean, like Brad helped me whenever I was down, and for me to kind of just dip on Brad and like leave him in a position where his company's like maybe not doing the best, just because I want to benefit monetarily, from making more money at, Young LA, that's just like, I don't know. I don't really have a piece about dropping him.
Oh yeah. I respect that for sure. It makes like, it's different for you. Your personal relationship with him is different than like the three guys who walked away and had a fallout. Like,
right.
Obviously, they're not going to understand you because you've had such a good relationship with him, and other people might have had a bad relationship, and it's kind of like.
And that goes for like any kind of relationship, not just like relationships in like the industry or anything like that. I mean.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that it's totally okay for like. I don't mind when other people like, like say something like, oh, like that guy's a shitty person, like, bro, like, fuck that guy,
That's the thing, like people who have bad like experiences with someone, they're gonna obviously say bad things about them, but you have nothing but good things to say, so it's different for you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I feel like I try to treat everybody like that. It doesn't matter, if they have clout. Like, obviously, like some people are going to be like, oh, he's just kissing Brad's ass. Like, I personally, like, and this is like something that's a little bit weird about me, but I would say 99% of my actual friends in life are, none of them are, well, I would say 99% of them are not creators. They're not influencers. They're not, they're just normal people, or people behind the camera. I actually have a lot of friends that do like what you guys do, and shit. But for me, like all of that stuff like really doesn't matter because I don't really do collabs very often. I don't really do that stuff, and I don't feel the need to ride off of somebody else's success in order to gain my own. I feel like I would consider myself, and I hate like playing around with this because it sounds like arrogant and it sounds like what everybody else says. But and I know that you kind of relate to this. I would consider myself like a pretty good example of like coming from like the bottom or whatever. Just I don't know. I've been super, super blessed in my life to be able to turn my life around from a very, very dark, like hopeless kind of, childhood growing up and stuff to something that like, I don't know. I'm proud, of the life.
No, it's good. You should be. So. I don't say like, I wouldn't say I came from like the bottom, but in terms of like my happiness, I wasn't waking up excited to do what I did for a living. So that's the change I made.
You weren't living your dream yet, basically, right?
Yeah. So like I was like, I come from a great family and everything, but like I just wasn't happy doing what I was doing. So that's the change I made, and it was the best decision I ever made.
Yeah, that's dope.
But it's hard. Sick. It's hard to tell somebody to do that because it's like, all right, well, where do I start? Like,
well, I think to an extent too. I think at some point in life, everyone has to go through some sort of change, whether that's a change of location, a change of careers, a change of a relationship, a change of like a marriage, a change of friends, something like that. Like anything that goes for anything, like you have to like get to a point where you sort of realize that where you're at is not where you could be.
Yeah.
And then you take that leap of faith, or you get uncomfortable once, you know, you get to that point when you can, and then you make that change. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but you never know unless you go there.
I agree. What was like the factor that made you pull the trigger coming to Houston?
For me, so I don't know. I am a big fan of seeking discomfort and change whenever you feel like you've maybe stalled out in growth, personal growth in your brand, whatever it is. Yeah. And where I was I don't know, I was just stuck in like the same routine. Yeah. And also just like, I didn't really have a lot of friends there because I really don't have a lot of friends because like it's a little bit tough for me to get close to people. It's a little bit tough for me to kind of like open up to people to a point where I can, I would consider them like an actual friend. And I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, but that's just, how I am. So I didn't really have a lot of friends where I lived. I was living in Brunswick, Georgia, which is actually like just above the border of like Georgia and Florida. And I just didn't like where I was. And I had a couple of friends here that I like genuinely enjoyed being around. And I genuinely considered them friends of mine. And so I was like, you know what? Like, I'm tired of where I'm at. I need a new chapter. I need a new change of scene, I guess scenery or whatever. So, literally within a 2-day period, I decided that I was going to move, found an apartment and signed a lease online. And
it's crazy.
Yeah. Within those like literally 48 hours, that's all it took. And I 4 days later drove from, Brunswick, Georgia, in my little 2009 Toyota Camry, everything I owned, all the way to Houston, Texas. And then, I've been here for what, like 4 or 5 months, something like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So it was good though. It was good. It was a really good change. And when I got here, I progressed a lot. I grew a lot, and I don't know. I found, I don't know. I learned a lot. Like when I came here, yourself. I learned not just about myself, but about just life in general, and about how to keep your circumstances and your situation from, defining the outcome of your efforts, and like defining what happens in your life. Because personally, obviously like Houston will always have like a place in my heart, but I don't find the environment in Houston to be super, beneficial to me and super like enjoyable to me, personally, because if I'm just being completely real, I'm kind of an outsider when it comes to Houston, right? Everybody here is like Young LA, Gorilla Mine, Outfleet, right? And I'm like the one dude that's like raw gear, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I won't say that it's like, that there's, I don't know. I feel like
I clearly get it. It's a disconnect in terms of like Dorian, right? He's with Outfleet, and now once I saw him in Young LA, we obviously stopped. Not that we stopped hanging, we lived together, but like we can't like connect as much as we used to on a daily basis because I have to focus on my stuff. He has to focus on his stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, it was easier for me and Brandon to get closer because Young LA, we were doing it together.
Yeah, it's like all these people that are on like the same team.
It's not like you can't be friends. Yeah, obviously, I'm friends with everybody still, but like. There's obviously a disconnect there because you obviously have to devote your time to your brand, and then someone has to devote their time to their brand. So
right. Yeah.
I understand that for sure. Especially out here, like
I don't know why like, the whole industry is like kind of created this like block between like brands where it's like if you work with X brand and you work with X brand, we can't be friends, we can't associate with each other, we can't work with each other, and now you kind of see that coming. Almost turning back on itself.
Yeah, I feel like that's over with. I feel like
Ghost is doing a collab with they did a collab with like Sebum and like Raw Revive, right?
Because it's just there's so many like different brands and different what are you not gonna like talk to people
it's
that
like
are with other brands?
We talked about it on the last podcast, like competitive versus collaborative. Like you can
like I know Marco
go both ways,
Marco and Brandon are making like glasses together. Like that's fucking dope. I might just leak that, but it's coming out. I'm sure they said it before, but. Like that's the way it should be. Like collaborating is dope, no matter who you're with.
Yeah, and whenever I came here, that was like, I don't know, that was kind of like the intention. You guys know like Jeremy Foster. I was really close with him at the time, and one of the things that me and him were going to attempt to do was to kind of extinguish just all the bullshit conflict that really just didn't need to be there, that was there. And it was just a bunch of conflict for no reason. I don't know if you guys remember, like around that time, it was like, there was like live streams where like 5 different influencers would be arguing and shit.
It was like brands versus brands.
No, it's actually wild.
They're like, we're gonna have a fight, bro. Who's gonna box who? All that shit.
No, I remember, bro. My Discord was like going crazy during that.
That was
time.
funny. Like, but looking back, it's like that was so dumb.
Like that was so retarded. Like,
but at the time, it's just like I don't know. Like you don't want to say the wrong thing at that time, and obviously you're gonna back your brand no matter what. Like
and bro, I was friends with everybody, but everybody with Young LA. Like regardless, like I was with Raw Gear, but like I was friends with literally like pretty much all the Young LA people. You know?
No,
what I mean?
I get it. Like
so, like I was pretty much neutral in that situation, but I wanted to help, I guess, break that just like trend of like conflict in between people just because of like the brand that they were with.
No, yeah, I think it's I honestly think it's slowly just faded away by itself. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like people just matured over the last like 6 months. Yeah, and it's cool to see a lot of big creators now working together. I remember when Alex Eubank came here, I was with Brandon, like we were filming and like they were talking, like chopping it up, you know, like online stuff is online stuff, and then in person it's a lot different. Like we were all cool, we were just saying what's up and talking, like, and it's just. That was a weird time. That was a very weird time.
Yeah, it's a weird time, but like I don't know. I enjoyed being, because I learned a lot about like myself and about like what I needed to work on during that time. And I would say one of the things that I learned during that time that I would consider like one of the probably one of the most valuable skills that I've learned in my entire life was the ability to have hard conversations and have tough conversations and be somewhat confrontational in order to resolve issues.
100%.
Like that skill is fucking lethal. Like that skill is so powerful, and once you like attain the ability to be able to go up to somebody that maybe you guys have like beef with or whatever and say, hey man, we need to have a conversation, we need to talk about this, we need to fix or resolve whatever issue is. And once you're 100%. Able to have that conversation, because it's uncomfortable, right? It's a tough conversation to have, but bro, like once you're able to do that, you will not only gain so much respect from the people around you, but you are going to be able to keep yourself out of trouble and keep yourself in the clear of like so much bullshit and save yourself from so much stuff. Like I remember specifically recently, and I'm not going to go into super detail about this, but like, for example, there was some things that I had told some of the athletes with Young LA about something, because I was asked what I was offered from Young LA, and I was a little bit high, I'm not gonna lie. So and I was in a setting where I was pretty comfortable, so I said it. And you guys may end up having to cut this out, but I'm just gonna tell you guys because I don't give a fuck. And basically, like they were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool," or whatever. And then afterwards, like I guess we're convinced that I was like lying, or like like I don't know, just lying about like this or that. And I ended up finding out like a month and a half after from somebody else that they were all like talking about that and like saying that I was lying about it and stuff. So I ended up having to go up to somebody, one of the people in the gym, and we had it wasn't hard, but it was a kind of a tough conversation. But now that like after I had that conversation, now like all of those people know that like I'm not a liar, you know what I mean? And that's gonna help my reputation and help and protect my integrity, like more than you'd think, you know, because like I don't know, I feel like
no, listen, I 100% agree. Like me and Elliot talk about it all the time. Like I feel like if you think about all the problems you've had with anyone, I think one of the main problems is communication, just not communicating.
100%.
And people saying something, someone saying something, and you never actually talking about it, like,
or people not saying something,
or someone, or not saying something. And I feel like communication is fucking key in order to keep good relationships, good friendships, everything. Just if you want to have healthy relationships with people, you got to communicate. And sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's uncomfortable with some of the shit you got to talk about, but it promise you it's going to be worth it to say it than not say it.
So for the people 100%. Listening, like, how do you go about learning that skill? How do you learn how to like confront people and like talk to people and have these conversations?
Because you don't.
Like, yeah.
Like for me, it's like it's the same thing. Like I do prank videos, right? I do like prank shit on YouTube, and I've done some pretty whack shit. Like I've done like pranks that I haven't filmed that are like.
So you'll film and you're like, this is cringe. Like you like say that. Or like, yo, this is whack, but no, like we're gonna do it anyway.
So basically, how I go about filming is, my viewers know that like I said, my second language is sarcasm. So like half the shit that comes out of my mouth is literally just me spouting bullshit. Like it's just like, yeah, but for entertainment's sake, obviously. But like they know that like what we're doing is literally just for laughs. And I do a lot of that content because my main mission for my content now at this point in time is to help men specifically, but just people in general become more confident versions of themselves, not only better versions of themselves, like physically, mentally, you know, in the gym, looks wise, whatever, but just more confident versions of themselves. And that's why I do all this crazy shit. Like I'll do pranks in public, or I'll fuck with people like, you know, at malls and stores and stuff. Because like, that forces me out of my comfort zone. And like I said, I'm a big fan of just seeking discomfort in order to grow. And it's allowed me to like I can walk up to literally any person ever and like have a full on conversation with them, because like I don't know, I've kind of like just practiced. Like the first time, obviously, like it's just something that's going to be hard in the beginning. It doesn't matter, you know, but like you said, just sack up, do it a couple of times.
Yeah. You've already conquered that fear.
It's true, bro. Honestly, like, I can even say too, like a lot of the shit you see on TikTok, like a lot of shit you see on YouTube, you're like, oh, that's fucking cringe. Like that's, but honestly, like kudos to that guy. Like I don't have the balls to like go up to a group of girls and say some crazy outlandish shit. Like, so and I actually respect it in some way, because that's confidence that a lot of guys don't have, even though it's like corny or whatever. You gotta have like balls to just go up to a group of girls and say some insane shit and then record it and
you want to know why people enjoy watching it. Like those videos,
because it's not normal. You don't like do that.
The average person
the same thing.
won't do it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I do respect like in that way, 100%. Like
it's like the videos, like half of my videos that are like super like high viewed or whatever are like me talking to girls, right? Me picking up girls at the gym, me picking up girls in public or whatever. You want to, and the reason those videos always get so many views and the prank videos always get so many views is because people love watching something that they inside of them think that they could never do. They you know, they don't like, you know, it's uncomfortable for them to go and talk to girls.
We talked about this today.
I used to binge watch like Conor Murphy.
Exactly,
like,
bro.
Because it's just like I would never walk around a public setting like that shirtless, and it's almost like I want to see like how are people going to react to that.
Exactly.
That's I never really thought about it like that. Like those guys who make these like corny videos, or they honestly have the most confidence.
Well, think about someone like Jesse James West. He goes out in public like having girls rate me on a scale of 1 to 10. He like takes his shirt off, or like this one of his last videos. He like got a full bodysuit painted and like walked around like.
And bro, I guarantee you, when he first started, that was not his confidence. But it's almost like the repetition of doing these crazy things. Now he's probably the most confident form of himself ever, and that relates to anything he does in his life now. He's not scared to take risks or to like go try something new, because his confidence is so high after all these years of,
and he's not
doing things,
scared to fail,
doing things he's scared of,
to do that sort of stuff anymore.
Because I mean, like in reality, in all reality, make a joke real quick, no shade or anything.
Is that sarcasm, bro?
Yeah. I don't even shit. What was I even gonna say?
In reality, about to say something.
Reality.
You're about to spit. Say something cool.
Damn. Oh yeah. Just I think you were just talking about just repetition of discomfort. Repetition of discomfort. I would say that the confidence that I gained through that stuff literally, I guess, spilled over into every other aspect of my life. Whether it's like going and talking to a girl, whether it's I don't even know, believing in myself to do something a little bit weird, you know, whether it's like going and traveling like the world, or like, you know, just doing crazy shit that's maybe financially scary, maybe just scary in general.
I think it makes you even more of a like sociable person. Like you're easy to be around, you're easy to communicate with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just your social skills increase because of how many people you've spoke to.
Yeah.
You've spoke to way more people than I've ever spoke to probably in my life, just because of how much you go out and do these things.
Yeah, and it also helps you and this is something like I didn't know that it would help me with. It helps you like be more comfortable in environments that you wouldn't typically be comfortable in. Like for example, next time I go out to LA, I'm gonna go and do some content with James Charles, and so like originally like the original me before I was like,
why are you laughing? That's crazy, bro.
No, dude, James Charles lives in my fucking DMs, bro. Like I could show you guys. Like,
I believe you. How did that link up come about? Like how did
he just randomly like started swiping up on my stories and stuff. And I posted it like in my Discord and stuff, and I actually posted it on my spam, but then I was like, damn, you know what if I use this to my advantage? And I ended up like not like, because I was gonna like clown and like make TikToks about it. But like at the end of the day, like that's kind of that's a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
But also like, I'm not gonna lie, like bro, James Charles hangs out with some bad females.
Oh, 100%.
Like let's just be real. You know what I mean? So like, and also it's just like I can be comfortable around people like that, like people who may not be like me, like people who like I can be comfortable around a lot of gay people or a lot of people who are, you know, don't speak much English, or people who like, I don't know, just people who are not like me. You know what I mean?
Because of how many people you've spoke to. Like you're just you've become like a people's person. Like you're easy to be around. Even like podcasts. Like this seems so like natural for you right now. Not gonna say.
Yeah, and I've only done this once. It was like a year and a half ago.
Wait, the only other podcast you did was Brad's?
That's the only other podcast I've ever done.
That's fucking crazy. That's so sick.
So you're speaking.
That was a year ago. Holy shit. Over a year ago.
Yeah. So you're speaking about your content wise, as far as like doing these pranks and stuff like that. Whether it was recorded or not, what would you say like the most like crazy outlandish like thing you've done and gotten on camera, whether you posted it or not?
I would say
probably didn't make it crazy.
for now, right now. Because whenever this last trip in LA, I did a lot of crazy shit. I did like,
bro, you make me want to. Now I'm like motivated to like do some stupid shit. Not stupid shit, but
Joe's
like
next YouTube video, rizzing up ladies at Kroger.
No, because bro, we've been talking about it, right? Because a lot of my content right now is just like BTS, and it's like I want to do more. Not because like I feel like I'm forced to, but because I genuinely want to do more. I want to like travel. I want to, because I really don't want to say I'm comfortable. But my life's been a cycle lately, right? It's like wake up, gym, shoot, edit, wake up, gym, shoot. Like very repetition, and it almost feels like a 9-to-5 life.
Yeah. Even
though I'm not living that life anymore. And I'm like going into the next year, obviously, I'm like seeking discomfort. I want to wake up and like, I'm going to go walk around the mall for half an hour. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go find a park. I also want to learn how to skate. That's like one thing I want to do. It sounds like corny. Like
that's not cool.
But like I used to love like Tony Hawk's Underground. Like I had a skateboard when I was younger, but I never fully like devoted time to learn. Like I literally want to actually learn how to skate, start making like dope skate videos and shit. Like
new LT.
That's an actual side quest. That's an actual goal. And I'm like seeking so much discomfort in the next year. Like I want to do things I've never done before, because I do have the free time. I do have like, I'm a lot more free now. I'm a lot more ambitious to do more things. So
well, with your career, you have the ability to kind of like make your own schedule. I won't say you have a ton of free time where you just aren't doing anything. You can just kind of schedule stuff on certain time and like schedule time for yourself.
Yeah. Like I have the freedom to like go for a walk on a Tuesday morning. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that when I worked my job, but like stuff like that. So
exactly.
Yeah. Next year, I just really want to, maybe I'll come on a trip with you or something.
What about you, Marshall? What are your plans for the next year?
Go to Vegas.
Next year. So in February, first of February,
you gotta turn 21 first, bro. Fucking 20 years old.
I know, man. I'm a baby, dude. Literally everybody else in like the whole like creative industry, it feels like is older than me.
Yeah, it's like in a year. Didn't you ask that?
Yeah. What do you?
So you are gonna be 21. So like, what's the plans?
I turned 21 the end of May. So before that, I plan on moving to LA potentially. And
the place you despise?
And the thing is like, I genuinely like, I did despise LA, and I still despise the people that made LA what it was for me. And fuck it.
If you go there and you find the right circle, it'll change your whole perspective. I feel like.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I was around all the wrong people whenever I was there, and it wasn't Brad. That wasn't it. It was just like the other people in my environment, and. I've taken 3 trips out to LA in the past 2 months, and I have enjoyed those 3 trips like immensely. I've done a lot more shit. I've spent time around people that I enjoy being around a lot more. I've made a lot more friends. I've just had a lot more things that brought me joy happen than in the like tons of times that I went out to LA. You know, 6 months, a year ago, however long ago that was. Yeah. And I honestly, like, I say that like LA is like a fake place, like, oh, it's like full of transactional relationships. But what I've come to learn is that that's going to be literally anywhere that you go.
I agree.
There's no difference in LA than there is in Houston. The only difference is there's more people in the creative industry in LA than there is in Houston. Every industry, like every like place, like location that has like a creative industry, bro, there's gonna be fake shit. There's gonna be like we're not gonna pretend like Houston is like the haven where you get to avoid all that. Like Houston's fake as shit, just like LA. You know what I mean? And obviously there are people who are more real than others, and you know, people who don't kind of fall into those traps. In LA, there's just a lot more people there, so a lot more people do fall into those traps. Therefore, LA has that stigma. But for me, like I said, like most of my friends are not creators. I spend most of my time around people who either do work behind the camera, or people who just do normal shit, you know, who do other jobs. They don't, you know, post videos or content or anything. And that's what I've come to learn is like me searching for a place where there's not going to be people there, but I'm still going to be able to have a lot of creative freedom and opportunities. It's out of reach. It's not going to happen.
Do you feel a disconnect with creators now because you feel like they just want something?
I would say not all creators, because I'm willing to give anybody, you know, a chance. I would say that I have had several bad experiences where I did give people chances and they ended up being just like, you know, relationships that I just learned over time, or I learned very quickly that they just, you know, they were all transactional. They were, you know, not I guess meant to be actual relationships. It does kind of scare me off from a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, those experiences that I've had have made it to where it is harder for me to have like an actual like friendship relationship with other creators, and I need to learn to. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to put your guard down. You know, I know. I keep bringing fucking Sushi up. I love you, bro. But like, I know him when I first came down there. Like he had his guard up, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like him, Jam, Madrid, and it was like, we don't let anybody in, like, cause they want something. And I remember like me, like Harry, we came in, we really just want to be boys. Like we just like wanted to connect and be friends. And obviously I did my photo shit, but like I feel like something switched, and he's like, wait, this guy like just wants to hang out. Like he doesn't actually want anything. Yeah. And like it's tough, you know, to put that guard down. And now, not that I'm like a fucking influencer or anything, but I know like when I meet somebody and it seems like they just want something, but then your mind like plays tricks on you, because you're like, wait, what if they just want to fucking just ask me a question? Like, there's one of your friends, like, so it's tough, you know, like it's. And then, are you still friends with people from back in Florida? Do you still have like your friends you grew up with?
To be honest, bro, like you
were homeschooled, right?
So I was homeschooled, but I don't have really any contact with my family there. The only people that I have contact with are people that I like went to church with whenever I was growing up. So
that's crazy.
So I would say no, I don't really have any like. I have like a handful of like friends that I you know grew up in church with my high school years. But other than that, like I really have nobody back there, to be honest. I have like a couple of friends in like Florida, but like that's like not where I grew up.
Well, I think that could be a solid reason why you have your guard up, because it's almost like you weren't used to having like that core group of friends, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like you were trying to develop it.
You've been like conditioned to not having that. You were
conditioned, core group. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think being conditioned to loneliness is like, it's something that like I like to think is like, oh, that makes you like powerful, that makes you like cool, that makes you, but honestly, like that's lame as fuck. Like that's
I like being isolated. Like I like my alone time. I like being isolated sometimes, but like you still need that core group
but
around you?
I don't.
Really?
I find myself to be extroverted to the extreme. Like I get lonely very, very easily. That's one of the reasons that I do not like to stay in Houston for very long, is because I don't have many friends here. Like I could count on one hand the amount of people who live here that I would call like probably my friends in Houston anyways. I know a lot of people obviously, but whenever I am here, I don't really spend a lot of time going and like hanging out with people because there's always some kind of fucking drama. There's always drama, and there's always stuff that's like conflict that's like nobody understands it, but it's like I've tried to be friends with a lot of people here, but it's there like I said, there's so much drama, there's so much conflict, and there's so much like there's so much like shit talk. Like shit talk here in Houston is like, bro, like it's actually fucking wild.
Definitely a lot of drama.
It's like we said, like Alphaland's like a high school almost.
Alphaland is a high school. Like I love Alphaland. Like CG, you did an amazing job of creating like such a good. Like,
we need a pool and a sauna, bro.
Yeah, like
and some tanning beds.
Yeah,
I think Alphaland's great, but Alphaland is a straight up like it is a high school, and a lot of that comes with just like people coming in that I don't feel like they really know like how to have mature relationships.
Yeah. Because I agree.
I just think it's like there's just so much drama. There's so many people who like everybody talks shit about everybody. It's literally like it's such a, and that's like why like I don't hang out with a lot of these people, because like I'm that guy that like people go to talk shit to because they know that I'm not going to go behind their back and then talk shit about them to the person they're talking shit about, which is fine, but it's like I also just I hate being in an environment where it's like that's all people talk about. Like I'll go over to like people's like apartments or whatever to chill, and it's like, you know, like let's say we're all smoking or whatever, we're all just chilling or whatever is going on. I swear there's not a single time that I do that and there's not people talking shit about each other.
No,
like
listen, I do agree, like it's stuff you got. It's like I stay out of like, but I agree there's like some stupid high school drama, like you'll always overhear something and you're like, what the fuck? Like,
no, it's like you walk in Alphaland and the first thing you hear is, bro, did you hear so-and-so fucked so-and-so? Did you hear what so-and-so said about you? Like, dude, like.
Yeah, listen, a lot of young people under the same roof.
Gets around fast.
Hanging around the same people every day, you know, like relationships happen and stuff like that. So listen, it's kind of.
It's
bound to happen.
Yeah,
it's
bound to happen.
But I definitely try my best to stay out of it. But bro, honestly, from like outside looking in, like I truly think that the thing is you just haven't found your like core circle yet. I feel like you didn't experience like real friendship. I don't want to say real friendship, but like it's just different. You know what I'm saying? I can't explain it. It's just different when you click with people. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because I like before when I said, do you have friends back in Florida? Because I still have like my core like 5 friends from back home who I literally talk to every day of my life. And like we've been friends since I was like fucking in junior high and elementary school. And like that's a different type of friendship. Like I could go to Texas, be gone for 2 months, come home and like they're still there. Like they're still my best friend. And we could leave off, we pick back up right where we left off. So that's a different type of thing I feel like you might have just not experienced yet. So that's why I don't want you to be like, not give hope that it's coming or try to distance yourself from making friends, because I think it is coming, but you got to find the right environment first.
Yeah.
Like that's what's happening.
I pretty much would agree that that's definitely the case. I didn't have like whenever I was growing up, I probably had like, I don't know. I'm not going to get too deep into all that shit because it's just like, if I told you, you'd just be like, what the fuck? Like what do you mean by that? You know what I mean? But I just I wasn't really allowed to like hang out with people like that. I had probably one friend, and he is that friend that, like you said, that I could, you could go for months without talking to, go back home and then like, your boys again type shit. But, we just are in 2 completely different places in life type shit. And for me, it's like, you're right. I never really kind of experienced that. And every time that I thought that I was getting into that, or like I thought I could experience that, something would happen. You know what I mean? And then like shit goes, down the drain or whatever, and stuff happens, and then it's like, well, fuck, like now I gotta find new shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You can't like, don't think like, that's it, I tried. It's like a relationship. Like just because a relationship ends bad doesn't mean, well, that's it. Like I'm never gonna try again. I'm never gonna find love again.
Yeah.
Because I thought that with my last relationship, I was like, if this ends, like, I'm done. Like, the world's over. Like, this is it, right? Like, but, like, then it ends and you grow, you move on, you realize, oh, there's fucking million girls out there.
It's like we're talking about a lot about environment, a lot about people. I've been kind of thinking about this point for the past couple of minutes here where it's like...
So you cooking up?
Exactly, bro. Over here, just on the same point, not so I didn't lose it or whatever, but you can have a bad environment and good people around you, or you can also have bad people and be in a good environment. I think that like goes to show you that
now you spin.
Just like being in the place that you are, you could be in a good place. Like, I'm not saying like, we obviously talk about like people, you know, moving away from home, stuff like that, dropping out of college, but you could be in a good environment. You could be doing well in class. You could be doing well at home. But if you surround yourself with negative people who aren't, I guess, in the same mindset, aren't doing the same kind of things that you were doing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we've all had those people in our life where, you know, we see these people, they're not really, I want to say they're not really progressing, but they're almost in a different line or in a different like belief that, you know, I'm just kind of like chilling. I'm good where I'm at. I don't really want to grow. Or you can just kind of see them going in a negative downward spiral. And while they might not like directly affect you, you seeing that and having to like, I don't say deal with them, but be around them every day and almost like be in their presence kind of like drags you down a little bit too.
You match energy with the people that you're around. Like you're going to have that same energy. And the same way, like people come here like, dude, Alphaland changed my life. This place changed my life. Some people come here, I just fucking burped. Some people come here and they're like, this place sucks. Like I'm getting treated like shit, or like
it's not people
it's not
talking the place
shit
for everyone. That's just how it is.
Yeah,
Alphaland's not like the most magical place in the world.
Exactly. So like you said, environment, people, environment. Like it doesn't. You can go to the best place in the world and be not happy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think, personally, I think people is more important.
Well, it's like people they've been waiting to get this job. They've been going through college for 10 years. They finally got that job, or like they wanted to move to this place, or they finally got into their dream school. They could get there and it could be nothing what they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've found that for me, like people are the determining factor in whether or not I'm happy in an environment. Like for example, for Christmas, for a week or so before Christmas, I'm going to go to Michigan. Right. And, Michigan
Bros
is
everywhere.
like
Midwest, bro.
Like
Bros everywhere.
I don't know if you guys have ever been to Michigan, but Michigan is literally like second to Georgia. It's like the anus of the United States.
Cornfields. Probably a lot of snow about this time of year.
Yeah,
like
it's
Detroit?
awful.
Detroit?
Yeah, they're close to Detroit. But I'm going to enjoy my time there because I'm going to enjoy the people that I'm around there. And that's like how it's been for me my entire life. Whenever I was living in Florida, right, I would come to Houston, but not because like, oh, there's Alphaland, right? Yeah. I didn't come to Houston for Alphaland at all. I came to be with my friends that were here, and I enjoyed every minute that I was here because I was with my friends. I was with the people that I like meshed really well with. And I feel like that just like has been something that's very, very, very prevalent in my life because like I said, I'm extroverted. I get lonely easy, and the people around me are like a big determining factor in how much joy I have, how happy I am, or dissatisfied I am. So yeah, no, that's 100% like accurate. And for me, I think that Houston, like, I don't know. I don't think Houston is like necessarily a bad place for me. I will say, Houston, there's not a whole lot to do here. Like, I don't know if you guys would agree, but like,
I definitely think like
there is, but I feel like we've just not gone into detail or try to figure out like.
Well, I mean, like
it's tough when you compare it to like other cities, but like obviously Houston's more like industrial. It has like gym and it has like club. It's a place. Exactly. That's why I love Houston, because I'm grind mode.
No,
you live in Miami. There's so many distractions every day. There's things you can go do, but like here, it's kind of one track minded.
And that's why I picked Houston to live here, because Houston was a really good home base for me to go out. I could travel to LA, go to Florida, whatever, have fun there. And then whenever I came back, it was like, okay, it's time to work. Like it's a place of work. And here there's like nothing else to do. So all there is to do is work. So all that I do is work. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like, that's how I use my time in Houston, and that's what I see Houston as. It's like a home base for work.
I agree. It's a perfect one. It's cheap to live. That's like the first thing.
So cheap.
And two, it's like it's an easy place to. This is your base, and you travel to LA. You go to New York. You come here. You go there. It's a great place to come back to, because when you come here, it's just like I'm focused. I'm back on my shit. Like that's why I love Houston.
Yeah. All right, so I wanna ask you guys opinion and pick your brains a little bit about
Hit me.
about the
Can't see it, Elliot. Was there? Damn.
Yeah.
About the fitness industry in general, because like I have my own thoughts, and I have kind of I know where I stand, but I just want to hear, especially being in Houston, because being in Houston, I feel like you have basically almost like a bird's eye view of like
truly
the fitness industry, the direction
I call it like
going.
a BTS view, or like
behind the scenes view of kind of like the whole thing, especially guys like you guys who like, you know, shoot a lot of the content that's actually being produced and put out into like, you know, the community and stuff. So I want to know, where do you guys think that it's going? Do you like the direction it's going? And what would you say is maybe some issues or like things that aspects of it that you maybe dislike or see as like, I don't know, something weird about the industry and where it's going?
I think being in Houston specifically, you realize how small it actually is, the fitness industry. Like there's all these brands and shit, but like everyone knows everyone. Like I know exactly what everyone's doing right now. I know where they're at. I know like who's in Vegas right now, who's doing this, who's doing that, who's got a drop next week. It's actually small, the community, and everyone knows everyone. So it's a lot different than it was like back in the day, the OG days, when it was super small and everyone just support each other because why not? There's only like 10 of us on YouTube.
Yeah.
So now it's obviously a lot different, super saturated. But I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm like in the fitness industry, obviously, because I'm not about that life anymore, like the fitness life, but I'm part of the people and young ladies, part of the fitness industry. And I think it's in a good direction. I'm not going to lie, but I don't want to see it turn to a point where people are getting signed and like they really shouldn't be getting signed to these brands. You know what I mean? Cause
and why is that?
Yeah. Just like, why do you think it is?
Cause it's just, it shouldn't be that easy.
You want me to tell you why I think?
It should not be that easy to just become part of something that's huge and established. You shouldn't just be able to
a family, like it's that easy to become part of like a family, a part of this big brand that some people like took years for, and now these people have blown up overnight.
I don't want to say that because like some people do blow up overnight and like they deserve it, but I don't know. It's just, it's losing the exclusiveness. That's what I think is happening. And it's, I don't know. I hate to see it getting super oversaturated.
Well, what I hate to see, and this is why I kind of left the fitness industry. Like I'd say that, yeah, I'm still like technically a fitness content creator, but like I'm low key I'm low key like a kind of an op. I'm not gonna lie, because what I see in the fitness industry, especially on the TikTok side of things, is I see a handful of really creative people making all of the content and creating all of the content and the ideas, and then a shit ton of other people, like the other 95%, literally just emulating exactly what the people with all the creativity and who are creating all the content and stuff are doing. Like I cannot tell you how many times I've opened TikTok and seen the same damn TikTok video, gym meme, whatever video it is on like a different person. Like I've seen the same video on 100 people make the same video, like 100 different people make the same
literally
video.
Just like 50 millimeter lens, stringer pulled off, dark edit, fucking weird
and
sound.
It's over the screen,
and just like texting, like I know what you mean. Fuck, it's so hard because like that is, it works. You know what I'm saying? It works for these guys, a lot of these guys.
And it's like, cause like the other day, like for example, this is just like the first thing I come up with off the top of my head. You just remember whenever like Spotify dropped their like Spotify rap thing. So like I posted a story and I was like, I said some shit. I was like, hey, like just skip the stories a day. Like, you know, her music taste is still shitty and his top artist is still Drake. So I thought, you know, that was just something that I came up with, and then a lot of people thought it was funny.
It was funny, like, and it was different because no one else did that.
And then I go through my following, and there's like these two influencers, and one of them is like a big influencer, and it says they followed me. So I tap on their profile or whatever, and it said they didn't follow me. Like whenever I tapped on their profile, so I tap on their story, and they literally posted the same fucking story word for word. They even misspelled the same words as me, and then unfollowed me so I wouldn't see it. And I saw two other big influencers post that same shit. I'm like, bro, where is the creativity?
Yeah. Like
literally, like no, they're like, I feel like people don't even like try to be creative anymore because it's like all about like, oh, like I'm just jacked. You know what I mean? And it's like people don't have a purpose to their content. They literally like, oh, like you should use my code and support me because like I look fucking sick.
Because I told you to. I sent you my post and I said, please like, share.
Like, yeah, because I don't know. I feel like as a creator, we should all have a purpose for creating content. Like my purpose, my intentions for creating content is to like bring people, you know, a little bit more joy than they had before they saw my content, or to help them become better versions of themselves and become more confident versions of themselves, right? But I feel like people get into making content, especially gym content, because they want a young LA code. Like that's all they care about. That's all they give a fuck about. Like
I don't want to get into this, bro. It's just it's fucking such a touchy subject. Like
yeah, and I know it's a touchy subject, and
it's just like, bro, like why okay, you're posting pictures, right? You're fucking you're telling people, please comment, support. I'll support you back. Like, let's go, support. Like, but what? Why do you deserve to work with a company just because of other people like commenting on your shit and like support?
I think it's not even just about like working with a company. I think that is extremely silly. Like the whole thing. Like I cannot tell you how many times I get tagged in people's posts. Like, bro, share, tag, comment Young LA at Young LA.
Listen, I get it, right? I get it. It's like something you do. I used to tag Young LA and like I would take a post of someone wearing Young LA. I would tag him, like hoping maybe something comes out of it. But like, it's just focus on your purpose first before you're like begging
grow yourself before you try and.
Yeah, we've said this many times, but like, what is your purpose? So if I go up to Gary, I'm like, hey Gary, look at this, check this guy out. He's like, all right. What? Like what?
He's either going to see one of two things.
What is he providing? You know, like what is he?
He's going to see some actual creativity, or he's going to see a cookie cutter, 50mm lens picture.
Exactly.
Like on their doing their cookie cutter poses in alpha land in the posing room, and that's like, and I am so supportive of the grind. All right, I 100%, I never want to be discouraging or come off as discouraging to people who want to get into creating content. Creating content has changed my entire life. Has made I'm so blessed to be in the position I'm in, and I thank God every single day for the ability to make content and do that for a living. But it comes to the point where it's like, all right, you need a purpose for making this content. Otherwise, your like intentions are literally just purely selfish. You don't care about
exactly. Are you literally just creating content just to like keep chasing this code? Or are you actually like having fun doing it and creating it for a reason? Yeah. Like you're having fun with your friends making it. Like, are you purposely literally just, do we have to film because we got to keep posting to get that code, bro? Like, is that your intention? Because
I'm going to butt in here because I kind of feel like
no one's going to get inspired by
fitness
that,
has almost become, not to all people, but to some people, a trend. Like
100%.
They have lost that uniqueness that a lot of people started in this industry. I mean, I would not be here if it wasn't for watching fitness content. I don't consume fitness content anymore. I don't watch TikTok. I don't watch like Instagram, any of that stuff anymore. I see some stuff obviously and follow some people, but fitness has become a trend to some people where it's like they see people doing well and succeeding and they're like, this is a path I could go where I don't have to go to college. You know, I could be sponsored by this cool brand, get some cool free clothes, get free supplements, and like live this dream life where I can, you know, wake up every day and just go to the gym and do that. They might not even necessarily like doing or like the culture of fitness or like that family or that creativity aspect. They just see that it's a way, not necessarily like a way out, but they see it's trending, it's doing well. So it's like almost a way in for them to escape their normal life, I guess, per se.
I could say fitness content, like, it changed my life in some way for sure. Exactly. Watching Christian Guzman videos, watching all these like David Lay videos, like that shit inspired me to want more out of my life. You know what I'm saying? But not necessarily
but like, the industry is different. Like back then, like
that shit inspired me, bro. I used to watch those videos and I'd be fucking inspired.
Everything, like everyone knew like every influencer, even in the space, like every influencer knew every influencer. Like this was this guy, he was like this was this guy, and now everyone just makes the same content.
See, but like I'm gonna be honest, like I don't know a single person. I didn't watch YouTube videos. I didn't have a phone till I was like 17. I was 17 driving a car. I didn't even have a phone. Like I didn't have Instagram.
That's insane.
I never grew up like all these people who grew up watching David Lade. I didn't watch YouTube at all. Like I was introduced to content for the first time whenever I was 17 years old. And so like for me, I never had like an inspiration. I never had that. And then I started watching fitness content. And at this moment I consume zero fitness
Who was like the first person you came across when you got introduced to like YouTube and everything?
The first person I can remember that I came across was probably honestly Greg Doucette, like, really? Which is like nobody says that, but
honestly, you're not on.
I never watched any of those
like,
videos.
Definitely a big name now. I would say he's up there with like who's big names in the industry.
I don't know. I've reached the point where it's like when a lot of people like, obviously you guys meet a lot of people at Alpha Land too, but a lot of people will come up to me at Alpha Land and they'll be like, hey bro, like I'm thinking about like moving here or whatever. If for those of you who are in that position, I'm going to be real as fuck with you for a minute. Okay. And this is just my opinion, my perspective and how I feel about this. But every single day the fitness community becomes more saturated and there's more members of it, and that's great. Obviously we want as many people being bettering themselves as we can, but like there's this, I feel like there's this message of like anybody can make it, and it doesn't matter, like you can do whatever you want in life. Like you can, if you want to be the top fitness influencer, you can be the top fitness influencer, and I like that message, right? I like the messages of like you can do whatever you want. But in the fitness industry, there is, I would say, the people who have made it. I don't know what you would classify as have made it, but I would say probably 3% of the fitness content creators have made it, right? And there's a million people who try this fitness content stuff, and I'm going to tell you right now, like not like a small percentage of those people will actually make it, and that's because their work ethic. I think work ethic is like the heart of like success. I think the people who work the hardest are going to be the most successful, regardless of how skilled you are or whatever that is. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't work harder than everybody else around you, you're not going to fucking make it. Like, I don't care. Like, you can move here, you can come to Alpha Land, you can like, quit your day job. But if you do not work harder than everybody else around you, or at least attempt, like do everything you can to work as hard as you possibly can, you are not going to make it. And I've seen this happen. Like I've seen people like go into it and think that, oh, well, cause I came to Alpha Land, like I'm going to make it. I'm going to be a fitness influencer.
We say it all the time. Like it doesn't work like that. We spoke about it on the Kenny pod. Actually, you increase your probability of becoming successful when you do something crazy, like move to Texas and go to Alpha Land, right? You increase your probability. Like your chances are way better than the kid still sitting home, fucking twiddling his thumbs, thinking like, "Oh, should I do it?" Like, no, you did it. Like you came here, so now your probability is way higher. Elliot came here, no intention of fucking being on legacy loading. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he came here and he was a fish in the pond just because he was here, and he got picked just because he's present, and the probability is higher. So
and it wasn't luck. I mean.
No, not at all.
Here and just be like, I was just right place at the right time.
Fuck
stuff
no,
like
bro.
That, like,
but guess what? The fact you were here is the only reason why you're here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
I don't believe in luck, by the way. I think luck is a myth. I think what people think luck is just being prepared to be in the right and being prepared.
I don't know the exact quote. It's like
receive the right opportunity.
Like prepare yourself for luck. Like.
Yeah, like,
so when luck does come, you're ready. Like when you get that opportunity, when that door opens, like, hey, I need a videographer. You're like, oh shit, bro, I'm ready. Like I just bought a new camera. I'm so yeah.
But even
I forgot the exact quote, but
even having an opportunity isn't going to get you successful. Like
that's what you do with it.
I would consider myself I don't know. I'm as far as like becoming an influencer, right? I would consider myself as a person, just like beyond like how creative I am, the work I put in, a pretty good candidate to be able to do that. Like I'm not, like I'm a decent looking guy. Like I'm like, I have like decent ability to build muscle type stuff. Like just like completely objectively.
Dude, and that does play a part for sure. Yeah.
That plays a part, but that doesn't mean that I'm any more likely to become to make it. Like I still have had to do, like the amount of work that I've had to do, the amount of nights 100%. That I've had to stay up all night editing videos. Like 100%. Just the other night, 2 days ago, I was up till 2:30 in the morning at Denny's until they kicked me out editing, and then I went home and edited until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Fucking Denny's
like dude, I haven't made it. I'm not driving a fucking Lambo. Like I'm driving a 2009 Toyota Camry. I freaking dude, I'm not even close. Yeah. Like, and a lot of people think that I've made it. Like they think, oh, like, bro, like if I could just be in his position, like, dude, I am a small fish in a big fat fucking fish tank. Like I'm nobody yet.
It's good that you realize, like, not realize that. I'm not saying, because, bro, just be very proud of where you're at.
Yeah.
But you're also the same way as me. People say it to me, like, you made it. I'm like, dude, I am, like, trust me, I didn't make it. Like, I want so much more.
They see how far you've come, and they're like, oh, this journey, you know, you always go about, like, 1 year ago, I was doing this, you know.
CG, proud but never satisfied. Like, I'm fucking so happy to be where I'm at. I fucking grind my ass off to get here, but, like, dude, I want so much more.
Yeah.
And you like, and me both so think about where I'm at now, like, and where I want to be, and like, I didn't do shit yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you and me both know that me and you have, like, I have a shit ton of work to do to be where I want to be. You have a shit ton of work to do to be where you're doing. This isn't, it's not something that's like, oh, like, I'm just, you know, it's just going to happen like overnight. Like, I'm just going to pop off and like all this stuff is just going to come together, you know? And it's like, and another thing that I feel like, creators start to see success, right? And they start to see, oh, like I'm growing, like I'm doing this, and they think that it's like not gonna stop, right? That's one of the hardest things with this fitness content. And I think that's what separates successful content creators from people who aren't successful, is the people who realize that like growth is not like, it's not steady.
You gotta have more, like, you're not gonna be 42 saying, hey guys, code LT, Gorilla Shroom. Like, no, like you gotta plan, like prepare for the future. Like, yes, this is right now, this is my focus, right? I'm going to use every asset I can to grow and to save money and to do, but like, I know that this whole, like, it's not going to last forever.
Yeah, no. And it's also,
I love the brands I work with. I don't plan on like leaving. I'm saying, but like the hype, you know what I'm saying? The hype, you can't live off of like commission.
Well, that's
like,
why you see people.
That's
like,
not your end goal, is to live off commission. That's
people are not necessarily getting out of the industry, but they're taking things into their own hands, making things of their own, and almost kind of stepping into a not fitness-based content like you are. You know, you're doing stuff that's just not fitness because you've done fitness, it's done well for you, but maybe like we're saying, like, you know,
you want more.
Fitness isn't linear, and you know, you want more. Fitness isn't doing as well as it could for you, or you just got like bored of it and you didn't want to keep posting that because you want to post something else, and now you're doing well doing something else, and that just goes to show you that, you know, changing focus or changing what you're doing can ultimately lead to better results. I know for me, like, I can't do both. I'm not even making excuses or trying to sound like lazy, but like, if I'm like committing to like bodybuilding prep, that's my life. Like, I'm fucking locked in.
100%.
But I can't be like traveling and doing photo, video, and doing all this dope shit while also doing that. I'm
the same way.
Because I'm giving 100%. If I'm doing a bodybuilding show, I'm locked in 100%. Yeah. I can't be giving like 70-30. Like,
That's why I dropped out of college, because I can't give two things my all. Like, you can't give 100% to this and 100% to that. Like, you're going to either fail in one and succeed in the other, or fail, or vice versa. Like, it's not gonna.
Listen, some people can do it, which is hats off to you. But like, for me, personally, I tried, and it's not. I can't do it. Yeah, it's hard because.
Hey, what the fuck was that?
Sorry,
Are you getting the live ready?
Yeah.
What time are you at? Damn, it's fucking 10 o'clock.
A little over an hour.
Damn.
Not to like cut everyone off here.
Some kid DM me, he's like, you go live yet? I'm gonna add him if he joins.
What's the live?
We go live at the end of every pod.
Oh, okay.
And we let someone ask a question live on the pod.
If it's like something crazy or outlandish, you don't have to answer it. But
bro, honestly,
I don't give a fuck.
Another thing, like, to go back to,
I haven't even answered any hard questions.
This was a great pod. It really was. Good. Going back to what you said before, I look at it like college baseball, right?
Yeah.
So you go to college, play baseball, knowing that statistic exists, that like, I don't know the exact, but like 3% make it to the league or something like that, right?
Yeah. I think we talked about less than like 1% last.
I don't know the stat, but like let's say 3%, right? 3% make it to the big leagues. You still show up to every game and give it your all. You know what I'm saying? You still show up. You still go to practice. You still knowing that my chances are very slim, but you're still there. You know, you're still present. You're still part of the team. You're still grinding every day because you know that it's a possibility.
Yeah,
and it's the same way with like making content. You know, that's why I look at it. Like, you know that the probability to make it is very small, but like, you still fucking show up every day. You still grind. You still do your thing. You still create value. You still stay consistent, and you hope for the best.
Even if that probability is so small, like we're like, you know, like less than 1%, less than 3% or whatever, you doing that every day and, you know, putting in as much work as you can, being that hardworking person, you're still in that 3% or whatever.
You're still
compared to
on the escalator going up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
If you stopped doing nothing, you didn't do anything, you wouldn't even be a part of that.
Yeah,
exactly.
no.
So
that's the way. Yeah, that's a good analogy by me.
Can you slide me your phone so I can record the live?
Shout out college baseball. Yeah.
What's been like the new fashion trend?
Dude,
we talked about
insane.
fashion trends at the beginning, kind of like with like gym stuff, like that kind of used to be your thing. Like, what's like the new like
oh, dude, I've been getting into fashion hella recently, but like not necessarily like, I don't know. It's been more like high fashion streetwear type shit. Like
just high fashion,
I
like
do
Gucci hat on or something like that, or what?
No, dude, I'm big into reps. Like
reps, yeah.
No, I don't
wear
real shit. Oh, 100%, bro. All my shit is reps.
Well, I think for the gym it's okay. Like why not wear some reps in the gym? Because you're gonna fucking crease the fuck out of them anyway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
Like I wear leg day in like off-white ones, just going crazy.
Yeah, like squatting, walking lunges in Balenciagas. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
No, I'm like a firm believer
calf races,
in reps. Bro, like because the thing is like, bro, you can find some damn good reps. Like it, like clothes and shit too. Like I have stuff that's like considered like bro, I just ordered like a fucking 15 kg haul from Panda Buy, and that would be like $15,000 worth of shit.
Back in high school, we used to call them like factory variants.
Factory
variant, because like it literally is the exact same thing. It's just like minor little things.
You don't got the real ones. No, I got the factory variants.
Yeah, like factory variants.
Cool like that.
Or B grade, like B grades.
Oh yeah.
Also, just like I don't be having money to spend like that. Like
Facts,
shit,
bro.
Who's trying to spend that much damn money?
Oh my god, dude, I look so tired. Holy shit. Hey, we got Marshall here, boys and girls.
Dude, I look like, oh my god, I look tired as shit.
That's crazy, man.
What's up?
Send some requests.
I look beat. That's crazy.
Yo, Connor, I'm gonna add you, bro, since you DM me.
What is this page? I don't follow the podcast.
Legacy loading.
God damn it, bro.
You're gonna get tagged here pretty soon, so you're gonna have to follow it, bro.
Oh, I don't know that I can do it.
Everything's going.
Hey, what up, bro? What's up, Joe? What's going on, dude? Where you at?
I'm in Massachusetts, man. I'm working right now.
Ah, fuck, dude.
I'm working in Young LA. I got Young LA on right now.
Let me see.
I got this.
Bro, looking fresh.
Damn, bro, is fitted.
Dude, that's fire, bro. All right, we got Marshall here. You know Marshall? Say hi.
Probably not, but what's up, dude?
All right, you got a question for all three of us, or for Marshall, whatever you got.
All right, yeah. I'll do something for all three of you.
All right, let's run it.
Outside of anything that you guys would want to do with creating your own, brand within fitness.
Yeah.
What is something that you guys would personally like to do for passive income for yourself, and nothing related to fitness? If you could do something that was not related to that to make you money.
That's a really good question.
That's a great question. All right, so I personally, it's gonna sound crazy, I want to come out with some type of camera gear. So I think I want to make a bag, and like an LT camera bag. You know what I'm saying? And something that I want. You know what I'm saying? A bag that has everything that I wish a bag had. And I want to start making some cool shit like that. Like not. Because I got my clothes and everything, but I really want to start making like products. I think that's something different and something that I know I'm going to use daily, and I know other people will get a lot of use out of too. So that's my thing. What about you?
Passive income.
Marsh.
So obviously, like I'm always been into like fashion and shit, but so I would love to do like some clothing and stuff, like clothing and jewelry specifically, like but other than that, like I would say for passive income, I would love to get into like Airbnbs and shit.
Ooh,
like a lot of people.
That's going.
Like I know that's a lot of. There's a huge market for that. Especially like I would love to get Airbnbs in like Florida, like Tampa, or like Miami and shit.
That'd be cool.
That'd be nice. That's just a lot of money just like waiting to be collected.
Then you could chill
for sure. Too. Exactly.
Yeah. Literally.
All right, good answer. Elliot.
All right, what's good, G? I don't know if you know me, but I do like the behind the scenes. Like I'm the one behind the camera usually. Yeah. But
I'm subscribed to everybody.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
To kind of bounce off Marshall, I want to go on a little bit of a different route of that, but I want to get into like Turo at some point. I've always had like a love for like sports cars, stuff like that. The cool ones. Living in a big city like Houston, there's a lot of opportunity for people who want to like, I guess, have those for a day, have those for a weekend, rent something like that. And Turo's kind of like Airbnb, but for like cars. So use that almost as a way to like have these cool cars in my arsenal that I can like drive whenever, but also be able to, you know, not have to have $50,000 a month payments or something like that, where I can have that paid through like, you know, stuff like Turo or something like that.
Oh, that'd be fucking dope.
It's like you just like whipping a Lambo one day. It's like, I'll switch to the Merc, bro.
Yeah.
Nah.
In a couple of years, obviously.
Damn, you guys have good answers. Fuck. All right, bro. Well, thank you for your questions. I hope you have a. All right, brother. You too, man. Have a great holiday, and appreciate you supporting the pod.
Stay dripped in that Young LA, bro.
Young LA, bro, for life. Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Got it.
Fucking great guy right there.
That's cool.
Great guy.
It's a nice little way to add engagement to the podcast.
Yeah, dude, that was Harry's idea. I remember first time he said it, I was like, damn, we should do that.
No, that's actually really good.
It's actually cool though to like go through the comments sometimes. I'm just ending the live here. It's cool to go through the comments
it
sometimes
adds-
and
it-
like see.
it adds
like,
like,
oh, bro, I was in the live, you know. Like,
It adds an incentive, you know, to like want to.
To like watch more too.
Mm-hmm.
and putting it at the end is a good way too. Like people are like, oh, I'll watch to the end. Like I'm in the podcast, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
cool.
That's dope.
Yeah. So we end every pod with the same question. What does leaving a legacy mean to you? And what do you want your legacy to be?
Leaving a legacy. I don't know. That's something I've thought about a lot, but I think it would kind of go hand in hand with, you know, kind of just like my mission with content creation in general is I want to leave people with a little bit more joy than they had before they saw whatever piece of content I created, and I want people to learn, or not necessarily learn, but be inspired to be more confident and to make a change in themselves from my content, whether it's like a change in how you look, a change in how you dress, a change in how you speak to people, and change in your ability to, you know, be social or like, you know, be comfortable in tough environments. Like that is like what I want to, that's the change that I want to help inspire to people who see my content. And I also I want to make people smile, bro. Like that's like, you know, I don't know. That's something that's really important to me. It's just like leaving, like I said, leaving people with a little bit more joy than they had before, you know,
I love
saw
that,
my
bro.
content.
I love that. That's real, you know, like I feel like when someone hears that question, they think they need this like crazy answer of like this deep, like,
What is your legacy? Like,
yeah,
you're
like,
just like
I just want to make people happy,
Yeah.
make people smile. That's fucking,
Yeah.
it's cool.
I think it's great. I think you're doing great things, and
At a young age of only 22,
at
that's
20
crazy.
years old, bro, and think about how much you've talked about on this pod, like how much
Yeah.
wisdom you have, how much experience you have, and you're only 20. So future's bright, my dude.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate. Yeah, I
Thanks
thank
for
you
coming.
guys for having me on. Like
This was a great pod, really good pod.
I never get to do podcasts because like I don't know many people who do podcasts and shit. But like
Yeah, bro.
this
Like
is
the-
awesome. I love doing this shit.
I think it was something kind of
This was
different
good.
compared to what we usually did. Like, obviously, like this wasn't all like super like, I don't say cookie cutter, but a lot of the same topics. There's a lot of different stuff that we haven't talked about, you know, like having difficult conversations, stuff like that. A lot of these things that, you know, people, I don't say like need to hear about, but like tough lessons that sometimes people need to learn. And like, you
sometimes,
know, it's
like,
good stuff.
Truth hurts sometimes, you know, like
Yeah.
reality checks are hard, but like you need to hear it. And I think this was a really good pod. I hope you guys listened all the way through because we spit some good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
no,
was a really good
it's
pod.
a fucking sick podcast.
Oh yeah. If you
Hit
guys
that
are
sub button, bro.
hit that sub button. If you guys are on Spotify, leave a review. It really helps us a lot. Comment helps us a lot, obviously. If you're still watching or still listening, wait, when's this going out?
This is Christmas. No, it's Christmas
shit.
Eve, bro.
It passed already, but I'm hosting a toy drive in Staten Island on the 21st. It's gonna be dope. Big event. Young Lay sponsored it. A lot of cool giveaways and shit. And it's gonna be cool. Get back to the homeland. So, but I'll probably put a YouTube video up because this is after it happened. So watch out for that. But Marshall, Elliot, great pod. Appreciate you guys coming on.
Absolutely.
And,
Next time we do this, we gotta like get higher like my or
And
something.
we need Kenny, not Elliot.
Yeah, fuck you, Elliot.
I'm just kidding. All right.
Fucking
See you guys in the next pod.
Mormon
Peace.
ass.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Bro said Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bro, this is going on Christmas Eve. What did you want me to say?
What is this episode?
This is 37.
Really?
Yes, sir.
That's insane.
You've done 37 podcasts?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
bro. I know.
I remember like whenever you started this thing, I was like, damn.
Bro, we literally like post every Saturday.
Joe is the only one that's been on every single podcast, no matter what.
That's wild.
What's life like having 2 phones?
2 phones.
Our first guest with 2 phones.
Dude, it honestly makes you feel like a badass. Low-key.
Last pod you did
So warm.
matching beanie with the shirt, and now you're doing matching beanie again with the shirt.
I'm wearing black, bro.
Yeah, you wore black. You wore gray shirt, gray beanie last time.
Oh, yeah,
black
actually,
beanie,
yeah.
black shirt.
Damn, I'm so color coordinated. Gray and black.
I almost feel like I should go put on a black.
Shut the fuck up.
All right.
Hey, Merry Christmas.